Good night, everyone. We are the members of Group 1, and we are tasked with letting you know about infancy, learning, and development during the first year of life. The members of our group are Tristan Ramkaran, Kellyanne Wilfred, Shanella Samuel, Trisha Verasamy, Clevon Torres, Alicia Rafik, Shivani Takur, and yours truly, Benito Wilberg. What is infancy? Infancy is the period from birth to about 12 months, and it's one of the fastest stages of human development. During the first year, babies grow and change remarkably in several key areas. These include their social and emotional development, right? How they begin to communicate through songs and words, their cognitive development as they learn about the world around them, and their motor development as they gain control over their movements. Good. So, to fully understand whether baby is developing as expected, we look at developmental milestones. These are the skills that most infants achieve around certain ages. Milestones help parents and healthcare professionals monitor a child's growth and identify if extra support may be needed. Common examples include rolling over, crawling, taking their first steps, and saying their first words. Most parents get excited when they hear the baby say, Dada, Mama. So those are milestones. It's important to remember that every child develops at their own pace. So if you have a child, a young child of your own or someone that you're looking after, we don't compare them with others and say, oh, by the time this child was 2 years old or 1 year old, they were doing this, and child B is not doing that. We have to be reminded that children develop at their own pace. So, slight difference in timings are completely normal, so no need to be alarmed. Thank you. I'll now hand you over to my next colleague.
Good day, everyone. I'll be taking us through milestones of 2 to 4 months. At 2 months of age, babies begin to show increased awareness of their surrounding. They can lift their heads while lying on their stomachs, move their arms and legs more actively, respond to loud noises, and become calmer when picked up by caregivers. At 4 months, development becomes more noticeable. Infants begin to make cooing sounds as oo and ah, which are very good forms of communication. They can support themselves on their elbows during tummy time and can hold objects when placed in their hands. These milestones are a good demonstration of how the motor and sensory awareness are beginning to develop, as well as the early communication skills infants need when going on to the other stages.
I'm looking at milestones 6 to 9 months, or what we may say is the busy baby stage. This is when babies get way more curious and interactive. Every baby goes at their own pace, but here is what you'll often see. Around 6 months, they begin reaching out for toys and grabbing them. Laughs out loud, begins taking turns with songs like a little back and forth conversation, and they learn to roll over. Around 9 months, loves banging objects together just to hear the noise, starts babbling on repeat, mama, dada, puts arm up to say pick me up. Between 6 to 9 months, babies are figuring out how to explore, communicate, and connect. They are learning that they can reach things, make sounds, mean something, and get your attention. Every baby hits these at slightly different times, and that's totally normal. Milestones 12 month. The little baby explorer stage. By their first birthdays, babies are becoming tiny people with big personalities. They are moving more, trying new things and communicating in their own way. What you might see around 12 months. Tiny hands, big skill. They can pick up small objects and drop them into bigger containers. They start waving bye bye and they understand simple gestures. They uses their thumbs and fingers together to pick up different objects. They are always on the moves. Normally, babies at the 12-month stage will pull up the stand and they will cruise along furniture. 4 steps. Some babies might take those wobbly 4 steps right around the 12-month milestones. 12 months is all about independence. Babies are learning to explore, interact, and show you what they want without words as yet. Every baby hits these on their own timeline, though. Some are running, some are cruising, but both are normal.
I will be discussing some of the major factors associated with delayed development in children. Development delay means a child reaches important milestones such as walking, talking, learning, or socializing later than expected. First, genetic factors. Some children are born with genetic conditions such as Down syndrome or Fragile X syndrome, which can affect brain development and learning. These conditions are present from birth and may slow physical, language, or cognitive development. For example, if a child with Down syndrome may take longer to begin speaking or walking than other children of the same age. However, with early intervention, they can continue to progress and make meaningful contributions. Next are prenatal and birth factors. A baby's development can be affected before or during birth. This includes premature birth, low birth weight, or exposure to alcohol, drugs, or infection during pregnancy. These factors may interfere with normal brain and body development. Environmental and psychosocial factors also play a significant role. These include poor nutrition, lack of stimulation, maternal depression, neglect, and toxic stress. Poor nutrition can affect brain and learning. Lack of stimulation, such as not being talked to, read to, or played with, can delay language and social skills. Maternal depression may reduce parent child interaction. Neglect means a child's basic emotional or physical needs are not met. Toxic stress caused by ongoing abuse or family conflict can also affect brain development. For example, a child who rarely hears stories, plays educational games, or receives positive interaction may develop language skills more slowly than peers. However, it is important to understand the difference between developmental difference and developmental delay. Every child develops at their own pace, and developmental milestones are guidelines, not strict deadlines. For example, one child may start walking at 10 months while other begin at 15 months. Both can still be developing normally. However, if delay are significant or occur across several areas, professional assessment is recommended. Development delay can result from genetic, pre- prenatal birth, environmental, and psychosocial factors. Early identification, proper support, and nurturing environment can greatly improve a child's development and overall quality of life.
The importance of early intervention. Early intervention means giving help as soon as developmental issues or delays are noticed. And this is because babies learn at a very fast pace, and it's very important to catch them in that fast pace in the first years of their life. And when the delays are identified early, children can receive support as soon as possible. And support can include things like speech therapy, physical therapy, or any other service that may help develop important skills. It also gives parents and caregivers a chance to support their development by talking, playing, or even spending time with the children. And the earlier the support is provided, the better the chances that the child will improve and reach their full potential. Early intervention can also prevent small development delays that may become bigger challenges later in life.
Okay, so I'm looking at the infant temperaments. Now, not all babies behave the same way. They all have different temperaments. And temperament refers to a baby's natural style of reacting to people, situations, and environment. So the first temperament is easygoing. Now, infants who are easygoing, they are generally calm and cheerful. They adapt quickly to new people, environments, and routines. Usually, they have a regular sleeping pattern and a feeding schedule, which is regular. And this makes it easier for them to be cared for by their caregivers because they can predict the way how they're going to behave. Now, slow to warm temperament. Now, infants who are slow to warm, they are naturally cautious. They tend to observe new people's situations before joining in or before they adapt. They may appear shy or quiet at first and need extra time to feel comfortable. So, with the patience of caregivers and their consistency and reassurance, these babies they gradually become more confident. Then we have the active or difficult temperament. Infants they are energetic and often react strongly to changes. They may have irregular sleeping and feeding routines. They can also become upset easily. Um, it may be difficult for them to adapt to changes in different environments. And as such, these infants they require more patience, more calm, and more consistent caregiving to help them regulate their emotions. In conclusion, infancy is indeed a very important stage and a very crucial stage of growth and development. And educators and also caregivers they should be able to understand the different developmental milestone, recognizing different infant temperaments and identify developmental delays early. Caregivers and educators can provide support needed to help every child reach their full potential.